Good day guys, I'm Mariana. This is Aussie Minutes, the channel that connects you with Aussie life. Today I'm here with Ashley, a very good friend of mine. And the reason I decided to invite him to come today is because couple days ago I realized that India takes the first place of the list of the countries that bring more qualified people to Australia. So I invited him to share his experience, his journey with us. So Ashley, thanks so much for being here with us. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Mariana, for having me on your video. Hi everyone, I'm Ashley. As Mariana said, I'm from India, Mumbai, and I've been here in Australia for 5 years, and it's been an amazing experience till now.
So good. And tell us, Ashley, why did you decide to move to Australia?
I was born and raised up in Mumbai, India, and I've been working as an IT professional for quite some time there. And a lot of my friends moved out for looking for better opportunities, and life had become a bit unexciting for me. Mm-hmm. So I just thought of exploring some new opportunities outside, and the countries I shortlisted were Australia and Canada. Mm-hmm. But Canada, it's a very nice place, but I don't like the cold weather. So, yeah. And Australia had a lot of IT opportunities, so that's the reason I thought of moving to Australia.
So you get inspired by your friends, and then you decided Australia. And what type of visa did you apply?
So I came here on a permanent residency visa.
Okay.
And I applied when I was in Mumbai. Now the immigration system over here, it's a points-based system, and it depends on your age, your qualification, your employment, whatever you're doing, and then the English test. Either you have to take the IELTS or the PTE exam. Then there is a health and character requirement, and you need to have valid documentation.
Oh, very good. So you mentioned about the English test that you had to take.
Yep.
In the PR. Usually we say PR for permanent residence that
yep.
you do talk. So you mentioned about the IELTS. So how is the English in India, if you can just share with us? Because in Brazil, for us to learn English, we have to take private class out of the schools, because in the English from our school is not so good. So we have to take more classes out of school. So tell us, how is the learning English in India?
Okay, so in India, English is taught basically from the kindergarten level, and
so when you were kids.
Yeah, when you're kids, they start with English, and it's a very competitive education system there. There are different boards you can choose from, like state boards, ICSE, CBSE, IB, and it all depends on their complexity levels. And regarding languages, English is a compulsory language, and then we have to study the national language, Hindi, and every state has its own language, so a regional language. So basically we study 3 languages.
3 languages, oh.
In school.
Okay. That's so cool.
So that's the reason English has been a widely spoken language in India.
Wow, so amazing.
Yep.
So you see that, guys? He had to learn 3 languages just in India.
Yep. And the examinations and all the tests are done in English.
Are done in English.
Other than the regional languages and the national language, but all the examination tests, everything is in English.
For all the type of studies,
yes.
Like history and
yep.
like math,
yep.
all the things in English.
Yep.
So amazing. So you didn't have problems with the IELTS, right?
So basically, yeah, studying English after a long time was it was not difficult, but in IELTS it's the format of the test, like listening. So if you forget to listen, you miss it.
yeah,
and then writing an essay after a long time.
So you had to prepare yourself.
Yeah.
To to the
we just
test.
had to prepare on the basics.
On the basics, not
So,
on English
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
Okay, got it.
yeah.
So actually, you mentioned that you came as a PR. So for that, you applied for a skilled visa, right? So what are the documents that you needed to provide to apply for a permanent residence?
So even before getting into the documents, I would like to tell you that there are two ways you can apply for a permanent residency here. One is by your own self, where you have to manage the documentation on your own self, and the second thing is you can use an immigration consultant. So the immigration consultant has the list of proper documentation you require for your permanent residency application.
Yeah.
So for when you are applying for a permanent residency, you need to find if your skill set is there in the occupation list. So if I'm an IT professional, there could be something in the occupation list like a software developer, a software tester. So based on, you need to apply for that particular category in the occupation list.
Good.
So the documents I would submit is my age proof, my passport, then my educational qualifications, certificates.
Okay.
They have to be notarized in your country. And then the English language test, you appear for IELTS or PTE.
Yeah, and all these things is to provide a proof that you are qualified, okay? So when you apply for a permanent residence through the skilled visa, you don't need to have a company hiring you before you come, okay? Like sponsored skilled visa or something like this. So that's why I actually had to provide all these documents to prove that you are qualified, and then here in Australia find some job, right?
Yep. Apart from the documents I just mentioned, there is also a skills letter you need to get from your previous employers. You need to submit this to the for a skills assessment here in Australia. So every occupation on the list has a skills assessment has to be done for every occupation on the list.
Okay.
So if I'm an IT professional, my skills assessment would be done by the Australian Computer Society. If I was an engineer, it could be Engineers Australia.
Okay.
So the immigration consultant would have a specific format and whatever information they require, so that the immigration here, you need to prove to them that you are a software developer or you are a software tester. So they will study your profile and then give you a skills assessment report.
Oh, very good.
And that is what you need to submit again for your permanent residency application.
Okay.
Apart from that, there is the police clearance certificate, which you need to obtain from your country. And
Yeah,
even
that's
if you have
right.
been, and even if you have been studying, living outside your country for some time, for a longer period of time, you would need to get a clearance certificate from that country as well.
From that country.
This is to check that your character is good and all that. And then I think last is the health certificate. There's a health test you need to go through before you apply, and you need to submit that.
All of
Yep.
it.
Yep.
And then wait for approval.
Yep.
Yeah, very good.
The approval usually takes, it depends now. For me, it took 11 months.
11 months.
It could be more based on
Okay.
the processing times. It keeps on changing. So you can go to the website, the immigration website, and just check
Okay.
what's the current
It
processing
depends,
time.
case by case.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how long did you spend as a permanent resident and then apply to Australian
Citizenship. Okay. So I lived here for 4 years. I think that is the prerequisite for you to apply for citizenship.
Okay, this is the minimum.
Yeah. You need to stay here for at least 4 years.
Okay.
By the way, all this, the permanent residency process is all online, and it's really easy.
Oh, good.
Yep.
So after 4 years, you applied for the citizen.
Yep.
Yeah, very good. And then you were invited to some ceremony or something
Yeah,
like this?
there is a oath taking ceremony.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And how long does at the moment that you apply it, and then when you receive it, a letter or something saying that you were approved, how
Mhm.
long does it take? It took
So for me, it took almost a year for my
Almost.
citizenship approval,
yeah, okay.
and then I got invited for a ceremony, and that was after a month.
Okay.
And after the ceremony, it took me a month to get the I think a couple of weeks to get the passport.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So you are a recent Australian
citizen.
citizen. Very good. So actually, what are the tips that you would give to who is watching us and wants to come to Australia, especially as a permanent resident?
First of all, when you're moving to another country, it's not an easy task to do.
Yeah.
It's like getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
you need to have that mindset. You need to be open-minded because you're going to meet people from different cultures, different places, like the way I met you.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
So that is the first thing. The second thing is you need to find out what your skill set can offer to the Australian market, job market.
Mm-hmm.
So say for example, you're a software developer. I would suggest you go to seek.com.au, which is the biggest job site here in Australia,
Mm-hmm.
and search for profiles matching, for job opportunities matching your profile,
Mm-hmm. And you skill it.
and you study the job description. I know you need to have a lot of patience for this. Just go through as many as job descriptions for software developers, and then you get an idea of what the market is asking for.
That's a very good tip, guys.
Yeah, so and then you know that what's missing on your resume,
Mm-hmm.
and you can then upskill. Now for upskilling, there's a lot of online courses available nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Udemy, Coursera, they give you certificates also at the end of the course.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one way you can upskill.
Yes.
So when you land here in Australia, you are really prepared to jump into the job market.
Very, very good tip. Thank you, Ashley, for being here with us and sharing your experience. I hope you guys get inspired by this amazing history and how Ashley became an Australian citizen. So if you like this video, please leave your comments, please like this video, and also subscribe.
Thank you everyone for watching this video. Bye.
Bye.